Good evening, everyone. Happy to see you here. I hope you had a good start to the week. See, am I on? Yes, I think it's working. I hope you had a good start to the week and that you're prepared for a nice weekend. Or actually, for me, since I'm on vacation, there's not much big difference between weekend or middle of the week. But we are geared up towards wedding times. Oops. So it seems like everything right now in my life revolves around weddings and making sure that everything is prepared. And if you ever got married, you know that it's quite a lot of stuff. So that's interesting. I was just telling someone that I spoke to today that because I asked, is it going to be nice when it's over? And like, are you worried? And I was saying that, well, in a way, it's going to be nice when it's over because it's so much work before. But there's nothing I'm really worrying about. Like, it'll be fine. And most of all, I'm not worrying about us. Like the fact that I am getting married, or of getting cold feet, or like, is it the right choice, or like things like that. It's very nice to feel, because I know for some people they actually like doubt, like, oh, is it the right thing to do? So that part feels absolutely obvious that it's the right thing to do. So that's really nice. And I mean, if you look at that, that actually comes back to distortions. Because when we want to do something and we're, well, I'm not going to say trying to do something, but when we're about to do something, there's the will to do it. And what's behind that will can be quite different from person to person, and also from situation to situation for the same person. So it could be that you, one time when you're going to do something, have a specific reason for doing it, and then the next time that reason doesn't feel the same way. So you might still do it, but it could be that the thing that pushed you to do it before is no longer there. We take it so for granted that we're supposed to do things because they make us feel better, or we do them because they make us avoid an uncomfortable feeling inside of us, meaning feeling bad. And we see that as being the perfectly normal thing to do. And the idea that it could be any way else is just nonsensical to some people. They have a very, very hard time seeing how it could be different. And if you haven't experienced life differently, then I understand. Then it makes sense that it could actually be difficult to see, why would I do something if I didn't feel bad? And why would I do something if it didn't give me the reward of feeling good? I just had another discussion with another person for my bachelor party. We were talking to the guy who was the sound technician, and a very nice guy. And he asked, as soon as someone here said, I've been a monk, then they asked questions about that. And we were talking, and I said, like, well, people do things when you're nice to someone. If you look at why people are, like, for instance, something like compassion. Compassion means that you feel the pain of someone else so that you suffer. And since you suffer, you don't like suffering. So then you help them so that you won't feel bad. In other words, you're not actually helping them. You're doing it because you don't like to feel bad. That's the motivator behind why you're doing it. It's not some kind of like, just what do you call that when you have a altruistic action that is just like for the good of all people. Like, I just like doing it. Like, it's not that. It's actually that I feel bad, so then I help you so that I don't have to feel bad anymore. And when I said that, he was kind of like, I never thought about it like that. And then he said, well, I have not a controversial, but a provoking question. He said, like, isn't it good to be nice? So isn't it a good thing to be nice to people? And I'm kind of like, and I was taken a bit off guard by the question, because the question just doesn't make any sense. I understand that it did it for him. It was just that for me, it doesn't make any sense, because there's no conflict. There is nothing in it that actually supports what he's saying, but I can see that from his perspective, that does make sense. And the reason I say that is because if you enjoy being alive, just for the very fact of being alive, if you train yourself so that you know what it's like to be here, so that you know how to feel what it's really like to be here and just experience being here. Like not because you're doing something so amazing or something so incredible, but because you've learned how to experience being now, being here in this moment, not going somewhere else. That is in and of itself satisfying. It is enjoyable and it is fulfilling just by the very fact of being. There's nothing else you need to do. So the idea that you would feel better doing something else doesn't really make any sense. The idea that you would need to do something to get away from an uncomfortable feeling inside of you doesn't really make any sense, because you're just here. You're just enjoying being here. And then when you enjoy to be here, for some people, they then say like, well, why would I do anything? Why would I help other people? Because I feel good, so I'll just do whatever I want. I'll just go out and take whatever I want. And again, they're missing the point. They then think that, well, if you would just take what you want, then you would feel good. I'm not saying like go out and do whatever you want and then you'll feel good. I'm saying feel good no matter what you're doing. Like always feel good. And the thing is, when you feel good, it is very, very difficult to hurt someone else. It is very difficult to be mean towards someone else. I would argue that it's almost impossible to be mean, intentionally mean at least. The feeling of being mean is impossible. When you're feeling good, it's very natural to help other people, because you're walking down the street and you see someone who's suffering. That doesn't mean you're going to give them all your money, or that you're going to do whatever they ask of you, but it's difficult if you see someone who just needs your help. Maybe they fell over. Like, it's just so natural to help another person. It's just the most natural, easy thing to do, is to be kind and loving towards others. It just comes completely natural, because when you feel good, you no longer need to defend this identity that says, well, I'm not going to be near them because they're bad people. Well, I'm not going to approach that person because they're of that gender or that ethnicity or whatever it is. There's no part of you needing to defend yourself against other people. So then in doing that, that means you're completely open towards them. It means that you're open and available in a non-defensive way. And people feel this. When they feel that you come up to them and they can feel that you don't need anything from them, then they tend to, after a while, open up themselves. Because when they can feel like, oh, it's actually very nice to be with this person because I just feel so at ease. I don't feel like I need to have any masks on. I don't feel like I need to pretend to be anyone, because look at how at ease they are. Like, I'm sure you've met people like this. If you have at least been around a little bit, you've run into people who they just make you feel comfortable. It's just easy to be with them. Not because they're so good in saying the right thing, because that's also a thing. There's people who are just really good at, I'm not going to say manipulate, but at saying the right thing so that you feel at ease. Someone who's in sales could do that and they make you feel at ease, but that doesn't mean they're actually not distorting towards you. What I'm talking about is someone who's just so comfortable with themselves that it's very difficult for you to not be comfortable with yourself. Because when you're around someone like that, you feel that you don't need to pretend to be anyone. Why would you? Because they're not pretending. They're just there. They're saying what they believe, and they're not saying it because they need to like defend their view and we should fight for this and we should go and do like this thing and we should be really strong and powerful. No, they're just saying their beliefs, and you can have a different belief. And that's fine. That's not a problem. We can have different opinions. We don't need to fight and argue with each other just because we have different opinions. That's okay. Because there's nothing in them that's threatened by you having another belief. If you have a strong sense of identity and someone says something that you don't agree with, then all of a sudden you feel the need to defend that opinion. You start pushing against that. And that's the same thing that comes from being nice to other people. If you're nice to other people because you want to feel good, what happens when you do something nice towards them and they don't behave the way you think they should? Or they don't show gratitude the way that you think they should? Because in your mind, when you're kind to them, that means that they should now say certain things to you. They should be appreciative. They should do what you think they should do with whatever it is you did for them. Or you have ideas and opinions about how they should or shouldn't behave. And since you have those ideas and opinions, that means that they're not free to be who they want to be, because you're now putting a filter in between you and them, saying like, well, I'm not going to see you for who you are unless, hey JVB, nice to see you. Unless you do what I think you should do when I've helped you, then I'm not going to accept you. Then I'm not going to be okay with you being you. So if you, instead of focusing on trying to do the right thing, trying to do the thing that you're supposed to do, or like this person said, like, well, isn't it nice to be kind to others? I'm like, there's nothing in what I'm saying that is saying that you shouldn't be kind to others. In fact, the difference is that most people try to be kind to others. They try to be a good person. When you stop having a sense of identity that you need to protect and defend, meaning that you can have arguments and fights, then the natural thing to do is just to be a nice person and be kind to others. It's just super easy, because that's what comes out of being you when you don't need to defend you. So the question that he was asking when he said, like, well, shouldn't one be good to others? I can't remember exactly how he phrased it, and he said it was in Swedish, of course. It just didn't make any sense to me, because it's like asking, like, well, if 3 + 2 is B, why shouldn't it be C? Like that question, like, what do you mean, like B? Are you talking about like a trying to figure out what the number of B is? Like, it just actually, that does make sense if you know math. So I'm sorry about that one, but you get what I'm saying. It's not something that really makes sense, because there is no conflict. If you focus on enjoying life, that doesn't mean you focus on getting everything you want or taking from others what you want. It means you learn to enjoy being you, whoever that may be. Not saying that, oh, I'm not going to be me, I'm going to be what they think I should be, and then people will like me. JVB, nice to see you. Do you have any good question for today? Because it's Thursday, so I'm open to questions if you have anything on your mind. I've just been talking about the idea that that being nice to others and enjoying yourself is somehow enjoying being alive is somehow contradictory. Like that should be a problem. And the way that comes up is that people believe they need to make themselves be a good person. The idea that you actually are a good person underneath all of this crap where we try to defend doesn't make sense to most people, because they probably don't feel like they're good people, because they have their sense of identity that comes in and says like, oh, I wish I had this, and oh, they're so dumb, and I want it to be this way. And it doesn't mean, again, that you can't say, well, their behavior is not really beneficial. They say they want to do this, but then they say they want to become financially independent, but then at the same time they go out and just waste their money on like drugs or whatever. Like it's not really working together. So you can see and tell that people are doing things that aren't helpful for them, but that's not the same thing as feeling like, oh, I don't like this person, I don't like what they're doing. That's a different thing. You always have those good questions, so I'm happy to hear if you have anything. And how did it go with your neighbor, by the way? Maybe he dropped off. If you hear JB, that's okay. Other things that have been on my mind this week is how easy it is to just slip into stressing. Like I said, we have a wedding coming up, so there's a lot of things that are on my mind, and on our mind, kind of, and everything is focused around wedding plans and making sure that everything works. And there's a lot of things that need to happen in a specific way, and a lot of people who are involved, and they need to all play nice together, and they need to work towards the same outcome. So that can be stressful. And when you look at stress, it's very interesting to see what it does to you, because stress basically is the feeling of not being in control in many ways. I think is what's behind stress. It's the feeling of things going so fast, and you have an idea that this specific outcome needs to happen, and I'm not really making it move towards that direction. And so then we feel stress. Or like, I want it to go that way, but we're heading this way. Or my actions aren't making us go towards where we want them to go. So stress, in a way, makes a lot of sense, because stress is telling you that you're doing something, or events are progressing in such a way that they're not helping you get to where it is that you need to go. The spiritual way of approaching this, or the non-dual way, would be to say that, well, it doesn't really matter, because I'm not me and you're not you. We don't really exist. We're all just the same, so like, don't stress about anything. And that's kind of like, that's just explaining it away. Like that's not really feeling the feeling of failure, or feeling what it feels like to not get your outcome. That's just making it up a reason why it doesn't matter. And it works for some people, and they say, well, this is obvious because I don't feel stressed. That may be, but you haven't touched on the core part of yourself that actually feels like this needs to happen in this way. Meaning that you've just, can you see the difference between explaining it away and actually experiencing it and seeing that, hey, you know what, this is just an uncomfortable feeling. I don't need to feel that in that way. I can simply do the things that are required to be done to get to over there, whatever that may be. Because ultimately, we're not here to just lie on the sofa and eat and poop and like do nothing. Like, well, I shouldn't say that. Like, if you want to do that, why not? Like, you obviously can do that. It's not a very enjoyable way to live life. But enjoying life and being okay with what is doesn't mean that you just lie still and do nothing. What it means is that you are fully aware of what's happening right now. And when you're fully aware of what's happening right now, you'll understand and feel that it's actually enjoyable to be right here, right now, because that is enjoyable. It's one of the most enjoyable things that exists. It's the most enjoyable thing to just experience being here. The problem is that it's very difficult to experience just being here, because we tend to then, like I said before about stress, run over to that space over there in our minds and with our emotional body, thinking that if I can just get over there, in my case, if I can just get everything to be perfect for the wedding, then I could feel good. And now it's heading towards that direction. This thing here is not really working. And so then you start having this pressure. And when you look at that pressure, look at that and see, is this actually making my life better? Is it actually making me solve this situation in a better way? Or is it just making me edgy, making me difficult to be around, making it difficult for me to actually do the thing that I want to do, because I'm so focused on pushing against what is, and right now it isn't what I want it to be. So allowing yourself to feel your feelings and not pushing them down, very different from just expressing your feelings. Meaning that if I would express the stress, I would just go around and like yell at everyone and tell everyone, oh, you're stupid, like do this, I should do this. And I call people up and I'm angry and I'm yelling. And a lot of people act this way. They believe that's the normal way to interact with people, and they don't see that that's actually a really uncomfortable and unproductive way of doing things. Most of the time, because unfortunately, when you call and you yell at someone, or you go and talk to someone and you're very abrasive and in their face, some people just react by like, okay, don't get in my face, I'm going to do it for you. The problem is that long term, that tends to be a bad way of doing things. Unless you're like the president or something, because then apparently you can keep doing those things. And I'm only half joking here, unfortunately. But even if you were, it doesn't make you happy, because you can push against things like that and people might do what you want them to do, but that doesn't mean that you'll have a good time. And it means that you're just so focused on getting over there that you think that any cost is worth it to get over there. Even having me feel bad is worth it to get over there. To get the best price for this thing, it's worth it that I feel bad, because you know what? I got the best price. I got the best deal. I just sold something used today, like an old drone that I had, and there was a cable missing that was in the package originally, and I didn't still have that. It was a connector to an iPhone. And he messaged me like, hey, is there no cable here? It's like according to the manual. And I said like, oh, just give me your number and I'll give you a call. And I called him and I said like, yeah, sorry, I don't have that cable anymore. And it wasn't in the photos, but you know what? Like you can order a new one for $10. I'll just swish you $10 and like you can just go buy it yourself if that's okay. And he was super happy. He was really like, oh, thank you so much. Like I really appreciate that, because he couldn't really say anything because it was not in the photos. I could, in a way, I was right, but why not just be kind? Like, it's such a small thing, and I'd much rather do that than squeeze every last penny out of like selling something and having them be unhappy, and then having me like have to deal with that distortion towards me, because you can obviously feel when someone is angry at you and putting pressure against you. So then it's just easier to just, you know what, let's do this. Again, doesn't mean we should let someone take advantage of you. Doesn't mean that I would agree to him saying like, you know what, oh, that cable is not there, I want it half price off. That's what I wanted. No, like that's if they're behaving like that, then there's no reason to. But just seeing that getting the thing or getting the outcome that you believe is so important, ultimately, what does it really give you? What is it you think you're going to get if you get that thing? Imagine the wedding. If we just get the perfect wedding, what would that give me? Well, it's just one night. It's just one wedding. It's not going to determine, one evening. Just one wedding. I'm only going to get married once. I have no plan at all of having more than one marriages. But I have the idea that one evening is going to be so important and so special that we need to feel bad about it and stress about it and really like go around and worry about it. Like it's just one evening. It's my closest friends. It's the people I care about the most. That also means that they're the most accepting people I know, because otherwise that wouldn't be my closest friends. It also means that they are the people that I want to share, that I'm going to spend the rest of my life together with Mariline, because that's what we want to do. And then if you have that perspective, then it doesn't really matter if we don't have enough drinks or if we don't have enough food. There's a little bit lack of food, but people can, like, worst case, we'll make some sandwiches. They can eat some crisps. I think we have enough food, so I'm not really worried about it. But the idea that we would go around and put so much pressure on this event, believing that if we just got it perfect, then something would happen. What is it that would happen? What would happen if the wedding was perfect? What would happen if the wedding went wrong? It was raining and we can't make... It all depends. Like, say it's raining and we can't be outside and have the ceremony like we wanted to. All that would happen would be that we'd have to have it inside. If it started raining, well, then people would have to like scramble and run back to the cars, and then we'd go inside and we'd have the ceremony at the place where we're going to have the dinner in the evening. It's okay. But if I have this idea that it needs to be perfect, it needs to be a beautiful Swedish summer evening, the sun is out, the birds are singing, it's like a calm wind, a breeze. Sweden in the summertime is beautiful. It's just like that, and then everyone is smiling and everyone's happy, and then we go back and it's the perfect evening. I mean, that's nice, but if it's not, I mean, that's what I want it to be, but if it's not, and I identify with like, I need that outcome, otherwise I'm going to feel bad. If it isn't and it's raining, all that you need to do is just change your plans. We just move the things, we do things differently, we stop the ceremony where we wanted it to be, and instead we're doing it somewhere else. So we don't need to have the emotional pressure towards the reality that we wanted, but instead we can simply move towards what we need to do now. And if it didn't work out the way we wanted to, then we do something else. But the emotional guilt, the emotional turmoil, the feeling of, oh, we failed, or it should be different, it's unfair, why did the weather turn out like this? Like that, I think that's the best one. When you start getting upset about the weather, then you know that you're kind of off, because getting upset with the weather is kind of futile. It's not it doesn't matter how much you rage and yell at the weather, is not going to make it better. So seeing how you're the person, who you're this identity that you have that is fighting reality, how that is the part that's making it so the rain, for some reason, is a worse outcome than good weather. Like, that's what it is. There's a part of my identity that says that if it's bad weather and it's raining, then I should feel bad. If it's good weather and we can be outside and it's beautiful, then I should be happy. There's a part of my identity that says that outcome, I want that one. If I get that one, I'm going to protest against the universe and I'm going to make myself feel bad on my wedding day because it's not fair. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be like this. Why? What does it help? Like, nothing's going to change. We're still going to have to move away from being outside because it's raining. So if we're outside, we get wet. It's exactly the same things that need to happen. But the difference is that it's a choice how you feel about it. It's a choice how you choose to emotionally judge or resist reality as it is. And that's the part I think that people don't understand that you can actually do, because we believe that, well, I obviously feel bad because of the bad weather. It's not that I have chosen a stance of good weather is better than bad weather. And since it's not what I want it to be, then I'm going to choose to feel bad. That's basically what you're doing. But people don't see it like that. They see it the other way around. Well, it was bad weather, so I feel bad. I'm sure that there's someone who would say that, oh, I wish it rains on my wedding. I really want to have a beautiful weather. A beautiful rain. Like, we all stand with umbrellas, and I love the freshness of the wind in my face. You know, when it's like just the cold rain, like on your chins. It's actually very nice. And it's blowing and it's howling the wind, and we're standing there, and everyone's going to laugh and think like, oh, it's so funny because you can barely hear what they're saying. There is someone who has that as their ideal wedding ceremony of how things should happen. And then there's the rest of people who think they should have good weather. What I'm trying to say is that whatever happens doesn't get changed by you feeling bad about it. The fact that you are not emotionally accepting reality as it is not going to change reality. It's not going to make it somehow different so that the weather turns good because you feel bad. That's not how it works. So if that's true, then why not just choose to feel good and enjoy whatever happens? And especially something like this, if it is a wedding, why not choose to feel good at the wedding? Because you just have one wedding. I mean, hopefully. I mean, I'm at least planning on. And I know that's not true. There's a lot of people who have more than one wedding. But when you have the wedding, for most people, at least they're planning on only having one. I can feel that my voice is giving out a bit. So I think that we'll actually start the meditation a bit early today, unless someone had something else they really wanted to bring up. We had the bachelor party Sunday, and we recorded a song in a recording studio. I used to sing a lot before, and I completely lost my voice the day after, and I think I got a cold as well, so it's been a little bit difficult to talk. So I can feel now it's really it's abrasive. But anyway, today's Thursday, so we don't have any guided meditation. We'll do the box breathing, the one where we breathe in for 4, hold our breath for 4, breathe out for 4, hold our breath for 4, and we do that as many times that you feel like you want to. It's a really good way of calming down your nervous system. It's a very nice way to start your meditation. I personally enjoy starting my meditation with some kind of breath work. I think that's a really nice way to get very focused on being here. For the whole meditation, I think it kind of misses the point for what we're trying to do here, at least. A lot of people like doing intensive breath work because it makes them feel alive. That is nice, of course, but again, it's not quite what we're trying to do here. So I'll ring the bell 3 times, then I'll guide you through the box breathing. It's also called tactical breathing because it's practiced by police officers and people in the military to calm themselves down in stressful situations. So we'll do that one time, and then we'll just sit together for 20 minutes. First we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, then out, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Now keep counting like that as long as you like, and then whenever you feel ready, just start sitting however you like to sit. thank you for a nice sitting and a nice talk as always. I think that I might do a stream on Monday, but then after that there will be at least twice that there won't be any stream because of the wedding. So next Thursday and the Monday after that is not going to be a stream. Maybe this coming Monday I'll have a stream. We'll see what happens. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. Thank you, JVP. I appreciate that. We'll see. Maybe I'll come next Monday also, but otherwise there will be a short pause. I'll write it on the community post so that you know what's happening. Thank you for today, and I wish you a pleasant weekend, and I'll see you when I see you. I will post pictures. I promise.